Elementary Nandao. Combinational movement 2. 1. Bingbu Bao Dao, closed step holding broadsword. Movement illustration and keynotes are the same as movement 1 in combinational movement 1. 2. Ban Ma Buan Dao, half horse stance downward press. 1. The left hand holds the broadsword and the right palm is raised together to the front, with both palms facing each other, the right thumb pointing down to be prepared to hold the handle of the broadsword. Look forward. 2. The right foot steps forward to the right, bending both knees to form a half-horse stance. At the same time, the right hand holds the broadsword, the left palm positioned on the front portion of the back of the blade, moving the broadsword from the top and pressing downwards to the front of the right knee, the blade facing diagonally outwards. Look to the lower front. Keynotes: the movements of completing the half-horse stance and the downward press should be well coordinated. Twist the waist and draw back the buttocks. 3. Qilin Buzwa Gongbu Tue Dao, Kirin steps left bow stance push. 1. The left foot passes by the front of the right foot and steps forward, turning the toes outwards, bending both knees, the right heel lifts off the ground. At the same time, turn the waist slightly to the left, the right hand holding the broadsword and the left palm raised from the bottom and towards the upper left. Look towards the body of the broadsword. 2. The right foot moves in an arc path and steps forward to the left, turning the toes outwards, bending both knees, the two legs cross together, the left heel lifts off the ground. At the same time, turn the waist slightly to the right, both hand and the broadsword continue raising upwards, the blade of the broadsword facing outwards. Look towards the right. 3. The left foot steps forward to the left side, turning the toes outwards, bending both knees to form a half-horse stance. Both hands and the broadsword continue the previous movement to swing from the top to the side of the right waist, the blade of the broadsword facing outwards. Look towards the left side. 4. The right leg turns inwards, straightening the knee to form a left bow stance. At the same time, turn the waist slightly to the left, both hands continuing the previous movement and push the broadsword forward, the blade facing the front and the tip pointing to the left, the body of the broadsword at shoulder level. Look forwards. Keynotes: the movements of moving the left and right foot is the Kirin steps. The center of the gravity of the body should be lower, the movements should be continuous, the two hands and the broadsword move around the body in a vertical circular route and the should be small. When performing the half-horse stance, hold the breath and store energy. When pushing the broadsword, the force should be initiated from the root, right foot, transferred through the core, waist, and reach the end, the midsection of the blade. 4. Dulibu Gua Dao, single leg stance downward parry. The left foot shifts slightly inwards, turning in the toes, the right knee lifts up with the toes pointing naturally downwards, to form a single leg stance. At the same time, turn the waist slightly to the right arm rotates outwards to turn the tip of the broadsword pointing backwards, the back of the blade facing diagonally upwards, then parry downwards to the outer side of the right leg, the left palm being positioned on the right wrist. Look towards the tip of the broadsword. Keynotes: the movement of the downward parry should not be too big, the right arm rotates outwards, the waist turns to the right, and using the waist to guide the broadsword. 5. Ma Buga Dao, horse stance vertical block. The right foot lowers and stamps on the ground, with the toes turning outwards, the left foot steps to the left side, bending both knees to form a horse stance. At the same time, turn the waist about 90 degrees to the right hand holding the broadsword continues to parry to the right, passes the front of the chest to the left side, the blade facing the left with the tip pointing upwards, the handle of the broadsword being at the chest level. The left palm swings in an arc from the left and upwards to the inner side of the right wrist, with the palm facing diagonally outwards. Look to the left side. Keynotes: the movements of the right hand moving the right and the left hand moving to the left, starts from separating apart and then coinciding with each other. The range of this movement should not be too wide. When performing the vertical block, the elbow and the waist turn slightly to the left, generating the force from the waist. 6. Zhuanshan Ban Ma Buan Dao, turning back half-horse stance downward press. The right foot shifts to the rear right with the toes pointing forward, bending both knees to form a half-horse stance. At the same time, turn the waist about 135 degrees to the right hand holding the broadsword, the left hand touching the front section of the back of the broadsword, and press downwards towards the outer side of the right knee, the tip pointing to the left, the blade facing diagonally outwards. Look towards the right side. Keynotes: when performing the press, the waist turns from the left to the right, using the waist to guide the broadsword, the movements of the broadsword and the body should be well coordinated. 7. Qi Lin Bu Zhui Gong Bu Tue Dao, Kirin steps left bow stance push. Movement illustration and keynotes are the same as movement. 3. 8. Du Li Bu Gua Dao, single leg stance downward parry. Movement illustration and keynotes are the same as movement. 4. 9. Ma Buga Dao, horse stance vertical block. Movement illustration and keynotes are the same as movement. 5. 10. Zhuanshan Ban Ma Buan Dao, turning back half horse stance downward press. Movement illustration and keynotes are the same as movement. 6. 11. Bing Bu Bao Dao, closed step holding broadsword. 1. The left hand moves to the back end of the handle, with the palm facing upwards, to be prepared to hold the broadsword. Look towards both hands. 2. The right foot steps together with the left foot and forms a standing pose, at the same time, the left hand holding the broadsword and lowered to the left side of the body, the right hand changed to a palm and lowered to the right side of the body. Look forward. Keynotes, refer to movement 1, in combinational movements 1. Complete demonstration.